Stephen, Steph Twell made her marathon debut in Valencia on December the 2nd, and it was a very impressive start at 2:30:14, I think was the official time. How pleased were you for Steph and for her coach, Jeff Whiteman?
Obviously delighted for both of them, and I know that Steph, has a pretty short run in for preparation for this marathon, but for her debut, as she said, she wanted to run I think she said a safe 2:30 or something like that. But to actually go out and do that as her first marathon is very, very impressive. But she's lucky. She's with Jeff, who kind of knows his way around marathons a lot, and so she's with a coach there who's got a ton of experience and nous on how to do things. So very, very impressive. Delighted for Steph, and for her career now to move across and onto the roads, and that respect is very promising for her.
Well, that's the interesting thing. That run took her straight into the Scottish all-time list at number 5, and maybe more importantly in terms of currently number 2 on the British rankings for the whole of 2018. So obviously quite a high-class performance. As the World Champs and the Olympics start to loom, how promising do you think it looks for her in terms of the marathon?
I think it's massively promising, isn't it? If you look at what Steph has done previously in her career, even earlier in her career, been world junior champion and everything like that, to have that range of distance, and even running 1500 metres at Commonwealth Games last year, now to go out and open with a 2:30 marathon. She's ticked all the boxes and on the way that you would look at what an elite marathon runner should be, and moving into sort of the cycle now of Doha and then into Tokyo, she's given herself a ton of options. I would imagine they'll look very, very long and hard about whether Doha should be in the programme or not, but certainly, coming into Tokyo, that'll be first and foremost into Jeff and Steph's mind, I would imagine. It's lots of options. She can still go onto the track again, but her road career now really looks as if it'll flourish.
Eilish McColgan has ended the year as well in some good form with a couple of strong 10k performances back to back 2 Sunday mornings. Her road career looks as though it's going to be very interesting whenever that happens. Yeah, whenever
it happens, I think it is, and I think Eilish has given herself options as well. And I remember talking to Liz a couple of years ago, and she had said to me that it will progress in that area. But I would imagine that Eilish's next goal will be to medal at the European Indoor Championships and really to challenge there over 3k, I would imagine. And Eilish has had a tremendous season, and the way that she has evolved and progressed and actually looks to be running with a lot of freedom. Again, talk about road careers, she's given herself a ton of options as well.
Callum Hawkins and Robbie Simpson were both due to run marathons at the weekend there on December the 2nd, but both missed out for different reasons. How do you think they will fare in 2019?
I think missing this weekend isn't a big deal at all. I think both of them know exactly what they need to do. If you look at Callum, he's come off the back of a very good half marathon, and you look at where he's going to go. Callum is we'd speak to Robert a lot here and things like that. It's a very calm, and it's a very clear pathway that he's got towards Tokyo, so he's fine. Robbie, it's not going to affect him too much. I think the nice thing about it is both of them showed the maturity not to run when they were, they're probably not that serious of injuries or niggles or whatever, but they showed the maturity to take a step back, reevaluate, and then move forward. So I wouldn't have any fears at all for both those guys.